Hey y'all, it's Hans. We are going to jump right into this review. The brand new Pulsar Axion XG35. This is the LRF. We're going to go ahead and review both. The XG35 regular non-LRF and the one with the laser rangefinder. The specs are so similar. These optics are very similar. Really, we're going to talk about the only difference, and it's a very obvious difference. But again, the Pulsar Axion XG35 review coming right now. We're going to run down the specs, walk around, talk about the differences between this and the XQ35. We're going to talk about how it relates to the step up from this, which is the Helion 2 XP50 Pro. I'll show you that as well. Something that we use quite a bit, Jason and I over at Outdoor Legacy. But speaking of Outdoor Legacy, if you're interested in buying an optic, go check us out, outdoorlegacygear.com. You can call and talk to me if you're interested in an optic and you need purchasing advice and you're interested in buying something from Outdoor Legacy. Call us 877-350-1818. Love to help you out. Love to answer all your questions. Also, go check out the Late Night Vision Show podcast. If you watch this channel, you probably are already watching the weekly podcast. We review all thermal night vision optics over there. We just got done with our Best of 2022 awards. So we were handing out awards to all the best optics of the year. But let's talk about the Axion XG35 LRF and non-LRF. We're going to start by running down the specs. Now, as we run down the specs, of course, we're going to be showing video, flipping back and forth, give you a chance to see what the picture quality looks like, see a little bit of the rangefinder in action on some hogs and some other animals. But this is, I'm going to say it one more time, the Pulsar Axion 2 XG35 non-LRF and LRF models. The non-LRF, the price on that's $2,997. The one with the laser rangefinder is going to be $3,499.97. So exactly $500 difference if you want the laser rangefinder or not. Comes with the Pulsar 3-year manufacturer warranty. So that's basically, in our business, it's considered bumper to bumper warranty with that optic. And if there's an issue that causes that this monocular to be returned for repair or replacement, it would be sent into their office in Texas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is a 640 by 1280 thermal core resolution unit, 12 micron. It's got the minus 40 millikelvin thermal sensor on it. It starts at 2.5 power and goes to 20 power. So that's a lot of magnification spread there. And it is digital magnification. 50 hertz refresh rate. One of them has a laser rangefinder that is integrated, permanently attached, integrated in the scope and ranges on the screen. You'll see the actual laser rangefinder distance on the screen. It does have a display of resolution of 1024 by 768. It's an AMOLED display. It does record video and audio. It's got picture-in-picture display, 8 different color palettes. It has Wi-Fi with the Stream Vision 2 app. A detection range of 1,300 yards, so that is a human-sized target standing up. You'll be able to get a heat signature from that target at 1,300 yards, but more realistically, the ID range, being able to exactly tell what type of animal you're looking at, it's going to be more realistically around 400 yards. The battery life, it runs on one APS-3 battery. That is a Pulsar proprietary battery, but you're going to get 6.5 hours of runtime on a removable battery that you'll be able to buy an extra battery if you want. That way you can have a couple and run them all night long. The field of view is 66 feet at 100 yards. The temperature rating -4 degrees up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can tell, we're going to do the walk around right now, but you can tell this is a very small unit, the size of a daytime rangefinder. But this is still pretty small, even with the rangefinder. So obviously the non-LRF unit is just going to have this removed. So it's just going to be this handheld unit without the box on the side. This is the laser rangefinder. All right, so the difference between the Axion 2 XG35 and the Axion 2 XQ35, basically they're going to look exactly the same on the outside. Pretty much. The only thing really you're going to notice if looking through the two is that the XQ, if you see an XQ, that means it's a 384 resolution. It's also it's a 2 power to 8 power, the XQ35. The XG35, 640 resolution, so higher resolution, better picture image, longer ID range. It's going to have close to double the ID range that the XQ35 has. And again, you're going to get better picture image, longer ID range, out of this 640 resolution monocular compared to the XQ35. The difference in price, the XQ35, $29.95 with the laser rangefinder. I'm sorry, $19.99.97 with the laser rangefinder, $24.97. And this is right at $3,000 and $3,500 for the 640 resolution model. Now, let's talk about the difference between, this is the Helion 2 XP50 Pro, the new one that's out. You can see that the difference between the size difference between the XG35 and the Helion, much smaller in size. Now, the picture image on the Helion is going to be quite a bit better, but it's also $1,000 more. You're paying $39.95 for this, $39.99.97. I keep wanting to say 95. $39.99.97, which is exactly $1,000 more than the non-LRF model, and it's $500 more if the Helion is if you get it with the laser rangefinder model. But what I like about the Axion, it's right as far as price, right in between the XQ35 and the XG35. The picture image is going to be right there in the middle of both of them too, with the 384 resolution and this very, very good quality Helion. So the picture image is going to be right there in between. So you got the price in between, you got the picture image right there in between. The battery life is very good, 6.5 hours. It's removable, so you can put another battery in there if you want, have an extra battery or spare battery. Also, with the laser rangefinder, it's going to be very accurate. Out to about 600 yards or so, maybe a little bit less, depending on how still you can keep your arm. That's the only challenge with the laser rangefinder model on the scanners, on the monoculars. If it's on a scope, it's a lot easier to keep steady, but on a scanner, it's a little bit more of a challenge holding it steady enough to get a good range on a small target very far away. I really like, that is very they say ergonomic with your hand. I mean, it stays in there. It's very comfortable. You can be on it for a long time and not feel like you're wearing your arm out because of the size. So very, very easy to use. Pulsars are probably the easiest scopes as far as functionality, attention to detail, quality, user friendliness. It's going to be very, very easy to operate. I mean, with a monocular, basically you're just turning it on and off. There's not a lot of functions you're doing with it, whether it's, you might be bumping up the magnification, you might be, changing a color palette or maybe changing the brightness a little bit, but really it's not very complicated for these monoculars, but very good optic, very good buy. If you're looking to buy something in the $3,000 range, you want 640 resolution quality, not really ready to step up to 4,000 for the Helion, but you definitely want something better picture quality than the Axion 2 XQ35, the 384 resolution model. So if you want to talk more about monoculars, if you want to find out more about how these monoculars maybe stack up to monoculars of another brand, give us a call, 877-350-1818. Again, the Pulsar Axion 2 XG35, fantastic monoculars, right there in the $3,000 to $3,500 price range if you get the laser rangefinder, 400 yard or so ID range. Really, I know I didn't mention any negatives because there's really not any. I would say, if anything, the picture image on it is good for what it is. Again, but I guess the negative is it's not as good as the Helion, but you wouldn't expect it to be because it's also $1,000 less expensive. But OutdoorLegacyGear.com. Check us out on the Late Night Vision Show podcast. We appreciate you calling us. If you have any questions, 877-350-1818. We'll be tuning in soon. More hunts, more reviews right here on the HansETX YouTube channel. Y'all take care.